Hello everyone. Today is day, let me think, I think it's day 12. Yes, day 12. I'm taping this on Friday for Sunday, but it's very interesting. I just had something feel just really weird. I went out to the bank, and I'm not going to mention the name of the bank, but I went out to the bank and the bank was closed. And this is in the middle of the day. And there was 10 cars in front of me for the drive-through. And it was very interesting because as I tried to go up to the drive-through, I was under the ramp there, whatever you want to call it. And what happened was they put the closed things up. And there had to be a good 12 people behind me. And I watched what was starting to happen. And I know Spirit let me see this for a reason. And you know I'm not a fear person at all. But we do need to just trust the process of everything right now and do a lot of sending the light out. Because I got out of there real quick because people have been waiting. I was in line with 10 cars in front of me and two teller things open, and I was there for a good 40 minutes in line. And then when I get up just under the ramp, they close the blinds, and they weren't going to attend to all of the rest of us. And I was like, wow. And mine really wasn't a big deal. I was just depositing some checks. But I thought, I watched the people as I got out of line and the things said closed. I watched the people's arms going up and people getting out of their cars and getting upset that they waited all this time and that they weren't going to be waited on. And like I said, I had already gotten all the way up there, and basically there was a sign up there too that said you have to make an appointment, that the bank is only open for a few hours in the morning by appointment to take your money out or put money in. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. So Spirit always lets me see something, and I watched how upset people were, honking their horns and stuff, and I said, okay, so, as much as, yeah, I would have loved to have been waited on, after waiting all that time, I thought, I cannot be part of the problem. So the people inside are just doing what they're being told they have to do, the workers. And I kept thinking I wouldn't want to be one of those workers walking out to their car because the people were still waiting out there. And these are the kind of situations we have to watch out for. Not in a way that being fearful, but you know what? I got up there and I said, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to waste my energy getting really angry or adding to that mob mentality. But I got to see this for a reason, and I thought, oh my God, just a reminder that we don't know what we're going to be facing in the next few days. Excuse me, Penny. We don't know what we're going to be facing in the next few days or however long this lasts. So we have to be careful. And we have to conserve and reserve our energy and really pay attention to things. Because you may be one of those people that are put in a situation so you can really balance things. I just started sending light to this situation, and I was in the front of the line so I could get out of there pretty quick. But I was like, oh no, that is not the reality that I want to see happen for a bunch of reasons. First of all, the people that are just workers, the worker bees that are working there, they're just doing what they're told. So it's not their fault, and the situation isn't their fault. It just is for whatever reason right now. So Don't be part of that energy that is just, getting really angry and demanding and all of that. And remember that usually the people that we have to deal with, like the store clerks or whatever, cashiers, they don't know. There's nothing they can do. They're being told what they have to do. So don't be part of that. How come you don't have this or whatever? Don't do it. I stop and thank everybody for what a great job they're doing as part of this, to do their part to help us. And when you do that, it has a whole, it shines a whole different light on things. So that's really, really what I wanted to say. And certainly my buddy here, Archangel Michael, just calling in Michael to the situation to bring in stability and light during this time. We need to hold the candle. We need to hold the flame. We really do at this time. There is so much going on that I can't really talk about at this time, but the light is needed at this time. So I'm going to start. My good friend Ann, big shout out to Ann M, that bought me the Archangel Metatron spray all the way from England, and I'm going to, I love this. I'm just spraying it over me, letting that come into my field after what just happened. Bring that energy in. Got a little in my face here, but bringing it in and asking for the angels to be part of this intervention. As I said yesterday, the divine timeout, I love that. I just think it's so great. That's where we're at right now. And we can get through this with grace and ease, or we can get through this kicking and screaming. And I don't want it to be that. I have this big, unbelievable ball of labradorite, which I love. I have a secret love affair with labradorite. It's really from the star, or it holds the star energies, the other planetary systems and star and galaxy. It feels like you're holding the whole galaxy in your hand. So my intention is that that's what I'm doing today. That as I hold this, it's the whole galaxy that's being engulfed in light. Not only our planet, but all the other systems, because again, what happens to one happens to all. So, and there are many beings of light that work on the other side to help us. They are trying to help us with our transition of ascension. And if you're new to all of this, that may be confusing to you. What is ascension and all of that? And ascension is when we take our body and we're raising our vibration. So what does that look like? Well, you're being more compassionate. You're being more loving. You see the whole picture instead of just me, my, and I. And you're seeing all different scenarios being created at this time. You're seeing the grocery stores and the scenarios of the hoarders. And, it's like it's not even their fault. You're hearing all this stuff on the radio, on the news that creates it. And then, that goes viral and other people hear that and then they create the very thing they're afraid of. I'm not hoarding. I don't have 150 rolls of toilet paper. I'm trusting the process. And I try to bring light and to help where help is needed. So I ask you, all of you that are part of my community, part of my tribe, please, please try to be part of that solution, okay? And so as we talk about the ascension, it's about raising our vibration, being more conscious, being more aware. If we look at the big picture of things, there is a higher consciousness operating here. We haven't been deserted by the powers in the light. But at some level, everybody has chose to go through this experience. And you might say, no, I would never want to go through an experience like this. But guess what? all our rage, all our anger, all our imbalances that go out into the world adds to the collective energy and determines which way we're going. So we, as a planetary system and race, want to collectively rise into higher consciousness. We want to collectively rise so we can all ascend into higher states of being. Long ago, it was promised to us that there would be a golden age, and that this golden age would be peace on earth and heaven on earth. And it's really funny because a long time ago, I was taking some training. It's terrible with this concussion healing. I can't remember his name. But anyways, he was teaching a flower essence course. And his flower essences were amazing because it's called Flora Alive. And he found a way to not kill the plants as he was taking the energy from it. And so I thought, I want some training in this, because if that's the truth, if you can do something that takes the benefit, the spirit from the plant without killing it, that is amazing. And so he was testing me for which flower essences that I might need. And there was one, and I don't remember the name of it because it was years ago, and he said, you are the only one that hasn't tested for this flower essence. And how he tests is doing kinesiology. So he's testing, muscle testing, pushing on your arm, seeing if there's a resistance or if it just collapses. And if it collapses, it's a no. If it stays strong, it's a yes. So he said, out of all the people, and this man is very busy and sees hundreds and hundreds and if not thousands of people, he said, you are the only one who has tested that you do not need this flower essence. So then he piqued my curiosity, and I said, well, what's it for? He said, heaven on earth. He said, I don't know how or why, but you have a cellular memory of when there was peace on earth and heaven on earth. And that made me cry, because many, many times I get accused of being, oh, you're just airy-fairy, or it's wishful thinking, or you're putting your head in the sand, you don't want to face the facts. And it's like, no, when I tell you this, I truly believe it from the bottom of my heart and soul that peace is possible on this planet. But we have to each do our part. And that's why I'm doing these videos. And that's why I'm trying to talk to you about this. Because there once was peace long, long ago. And it almost sounds like a fairy tale when you stop to think about it, and you're thinking, oh my God, how could there be peace? And, you know, every cell in our bodies and in everything else on this planet does not want to die. It will fight to keep itself alive. And nature does not want to see us die off, because we're co-creators with the divine, with nature, with all of it. So we have to root for ourselves, and we have to not only survive but thrive as a race and a culture, and believe it's possible. So what I'm telling you is that as we remember, and as long as one person remembers, there's hope, because we have a reference point. And we can say in our own individual mind, when you have time to sit and think or then go into meditation, what would heaven on earth look like to me or for me? So you might start with yourself and saying, wow, if I had heaven on earth, I wouldn't have any aches or pains or disease, and I might have all I need to do what I want to do, what I came here to do. I'm living my purpose. My family's happy. And then you keep pushing it out. You look at what is your dream. And then what's your community, your family's dream? What's your community's dream? What is the world's dream? So world peace, that everybody has food, that everybody has shelter, all these wonderful things, that every culture can get along. And we can appreciate our differences instead of trying to make everybody a carbon copy of somebody else. We can learn from each other. We have such an amazing gift in front of us, and we can't even see it. So as I hold up this labradorite globe, and it's also the first sphere I ever started channeling on way, way long ago. And as we hold this, take a minute to put light out. Imagine that this is the whole planetary system, and that we're just going to take a moment to send that bright light out for healing. See it as a done deal. Do not ask, how is it going to happen? We don't have to know how. We just want to know that it is going to happen by divine law, and I decree it so. And we're holding the space for it to happen. So just close your eyes down for a moment. And just imagine that it starts with your family. Well, actually, it starts with yourself. And imagine yourself being in that place where your biggest dreams, the things that you would absolutely love to happen, you have more energy than you've ever had. You feel wonderful. You have no physical, emotional, or mental limitations. You have more than enough resources, money, whatever, to share with others, to put programs into place that help others. You are able to live your life purpose. You work as much or as least the amount that you want. You are so connected with Spirit. You know in every moment that all your gifts are working within you, and you no longer have to seek that outside yourself. You have a wonderful light inside you that's creativity, that you are able to create whatever you want with beauty, grace, and ease. And people appreciate that. You have the perfect partner with love in your life. You have the perfect gatherings, the perfect tribes. And now, imagine that you're bringing into the center here, around this globe, you are bringing in your family. And what are their dreams? Well, they all want the same as you wanted, or you want. Wow. Powerful, very powerful. I can feel it. And bringing in friends and co-workers and neighbors. And what if this could be the new contagious? Positivity and light and beauty and heaven on earth. What if that spread like some of these fires do in California? What if that's what was spreading? Wouldn't that be awesome? Now spread it out into your whole community. Everyone helping one another, bringing their own individual gifts to the table. And now bring it out to your state. And then bringing it out to the whole planet. Mother Earth herself, healing. And then let's imagine how this affects everything else on the planet. That we see the waterways healed. And we see the air healed. And we see our crops and food healed. The earth itself gets healed from the damage that has been placed. Our drinking water is pure with light in it. There's a newfound respect for all animals and life form on this planet. There is no more abuse to the children, the animals, or nature. We see nature healing and thriving as it grows, and we discover new remedies that are holistic to help. And the whole nature kingdom thrives and is in co-creation and beauty with us. And we have a new respect for nature. Now take this and spread it out to the whole galactic system, the whole universe. That the ripple effect that is happening on this planet in the most positive way, bringing heaven to earth, goes out to every place in the galaxy. And then I want you to imagine that this is a little seed, that the dream we just created here is a little seed. And take the seed and plant it in your heart. Take a breath in. Hold it and exhale. And let that seed grow. And take a breath and bring your awareness back here. It's so important, and I'm not going to get into a big explanation today, but there are timelines where things happen. And certain timelines say that if we stay on this particular timeline, it's like being on a road, and I go on this timeline, I know I'm going to end up here. Right now, we are in a place where we want the Ascension timeline to happen. We want this Ascension timeline and the beauty of 1,000 years of peace on this planet. That is one. But you've heard me talk about it before. In the quantum field, many possibilities exist. And the Ascension one is one possibility. There are more timelines that have every case scenario you can imagine, from the worst to the positive. So we have got to hold the light. I'm sure you're going to be seeing a lot of things come down the pike through the media about how bad things are and horrible things. And I've told you before, stop watching it. Not all of it is accurate. Yes, we have a virus. That is true. But all the other things, a lot of things that are being amplified right now, you have to use your own discernment. And it's hard not to get caught up in it. I know myself, but I can't even have it in the room with me. So you want to start discerning to what's real, what isn't, what's exaggerated, and all of that. And start asking yourself those questions. Do I really want this timeline, which is heaven on earth? Or do I want to play out some drama scenario where we're locked up for a year, having this divine timeout for a year? I don't want that. So I am going to hold the image for that ascension, that this happens quickly, easily, and effortlessly. And I would ask the same of you. If you are ever put in a situation where there's some kind of panic or something happening that could potentially have happened. I don't know what happened after I left a few minutes ago, but you're going to see more and more of this the longer. It's my feelings and thoughts. The longer we go on, the longer we're in our divine timeout. So be safe. Don't try to change anybody's mind or do anything. Just observe and blast the situation with light. That's all you're being asked for. Okay, to end this weekend with some cards. First one's Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. It's the Three of Gabriel. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Now, I just pull these randomly for the best information for us as a group. So it's a ship getting ready to go to bring spices and all of that. It says you've made some good choices and now your ship will be coming in. As you wait for it to dock, it's an excellent time to consider your next step. Long-term planning is a good idea. What is your next adventure? What actions are required in order to make that endeavor a reality? You may need to travel for business purposes. Review your options while you keep your enthusiasm high. The work you've done so far will yield fantastic results, so there's no need to worry. If it takes a little while for you to get a return on your financial or energetic investments, just have patience. Additional meanings of this card: self-confidence, teamwork, optimism, and an expected outcome. Well, there it is. That's a really good one. Next one is Wisdom of the Avalon by Colette Byron Reed. And I love it. We got love. This marker reminds you to show kindness and compassion to all whom you meet on the path, be it a beggar on a street corner, a co-worker, a family member, an animal, or a plant whose leaves need pruning. This marker asks you to shift your perception from yourself as a solitary person on the earth to one who's part of a living system. What did we just talk about? Love is what made you, so keep it flowing. Remember to receive love as well. Ask yourself, am I blocking love? This marker reminds you that you're as connected to all of life as it is to you, and that you're responsible to be the steward of the love of the God and the Goddess. Love is without conditions. It is respectful, mindful, sees all life as sacred, and acts in accordance. Love reminds you that this very planet is a living being. Love is the very essence of the divine in you, and it sees the divine in others. This is the time to see through the eyes of love, and always ask before you act, what would love do? The answer will always bring you extraordinary power. This marker is a very fortunate and transformative omen. There we are. Which outcome do we want? And then Colette Byron reads Enchanted Map, and we got Making a Choice for our last card. So I'm going to read you that. It's a fork in the road here. It says, you're required to tune. What's that say? Oh, you're required to come to a decision now. You're faced with a dilemma, a fork in the road, and must make a conscious choice. There's the word, conscious, regarding the next right action. Whatever that choice is, you must take responsibility for it, yet you needn't be afraid. You may not have all the answers right now, because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked on it and traveled a few steps. Trust your intuition. I can't talk today. Ask for a sign from Spirit, and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one at this time. Life is all about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously. There it is. Guided by intuition and spirit. So you've got quite a grouping of cards here. Trust that the next step will come, and Be optimistic about it all and do it with love, and then make the right choice that's not only for you, that's for the whole collective. And remember, we are in this together. I love all of you. Spread the news here, because people are thanking me where it's going out to other people, and other people that live alone and that need a little shining on the spirit side of things. So thank you for all you do, all your prayers that you're doing, all your good deeds of kindness for your neighbors and people that need help. And thank you all.